Hello everyone, so it's Sunday and it's a very special Sunday because it's the Sunday before Christmas, so Christmas is upon us now. And I was in two minds of whether to do this today or not because I'm not really planning very much for the week ahead, and I've actually been quite lazy at home the last few days and not doing very much at all. But I thought actually I've got quite a few reflections on the week that has been, and I'll maybe tell you some of the things that I'm getting up to over the next few days. I have got the file of facts here at the ready. Here we are, and I will just put some light loose plans in today. So I'm ready to get my sheet together. Let's soft plan, have a wee blather, think about the week that has been, but think about the week ahead, which is a very exciting week. And so without further ado, let's make a start. So of course it wouldn't be a weekly planning video without me starting with my hand cream. So I'm going to use the Bien Amy La Vie en Fleur one today. And I haven't actually had this on my hands for a few weeks now, so I'm looking forward to that. It's always delightful. It's very, very nice indeed. This was one, if you don't remember, I got this for my birthday and I got it from Liberty London. So if you are interested, that's where you can get this from. And the kind that I've got, or the flavour, is La Vie en Fleur. So the brand is Bien Amy. So there we are. Right, we're doing something a wee bit different this week. I was going to make a wee cup of tea, but I have to always be authentic in this, and I just thought I don't actually fancy a tea at all. So I've got this mug. It's probably a bit autumnal and I should have my Santa mug, but again, I have to just go with what I feel. So I got this and I thought, do I make a cup of tea? And I thought, I just don't fancy it. So I've poured in some Pepsi Max into my mug. I know it's so elegant of me, not. But I do love a Pepsi Max. It is one of my weaknesses, and I'm even weaker when it comes to Diet Coke. It's just like nothing gets in between me and a crisp Diet Coke. So anyway, I've poured that in here and I'll probably have a wee sip at this as I have a wee blather with you about the week. Also, I have my blanket here, so I'm going to get myself all nice and cosy whilst I'm chatting to you. And in the background, you can't see it very well just with the camera setting that I've got on, but I've got my Joe Loves candle on in the background. The one that I'm burning is the scent plum pudding, which is delicious. I absolutely love that. I'm so glad I got those candles, and I'm so glad that there was a mixture of scents in there because it's been really, really nice to just have that around the house. Unfortunately, one of them has burned to the bottom now and I'm no longer able to use it. And that was the mulled wine one. And if you might remember, when I unboxed that, I was a bit like, oh, it's quite Christmassy, I'm not sure. It was lovely and it was subtle enough. It wasn't like that overpowering Christmas scent. So really delighted with the Joe Loves candles, and I would feel confident, one, in recommending those candles, but two, actually buying any other candle from Joe Loves in the future. Something I was talking to my sister about this morning is that once I've blown that candle out, and say I go away out for the day and I come back tomorrow evening, when I open my front door I can still smell it in the house. I've not really had that with many candles before, so I think they are very, very good quality. So pleased with that. Anywho, it is the end of the week and we are thinking about the week ahead, and it is a big week. So give ourselves a big, big hug to get to the end of the week and think about the fact we're starting a new week. And I think especially give yourself a hug, because I do think that as exciting as this time of year can be, it can also bring up quite a lot of emotion, and yeah, it can be quite challenging in other ways as well. You know, if you're very busy, if you've got lots of things going on, or maybe you don't have a lot of things going on and you feel like you should have things going on, you know, and there's different pressures, different social pressures, family pressures, and all of these things to try and get Christmas right. And it's just doesn't always work like that. And also sometimes people are suffering with the fact that, you know, loved ones aren't here as well. So do give yourself a big, big hug, and we'll start the week. So let's get into it. So if you haven't been for one of my planning videos before, this will be very soft, this one, I promise you. We're not going full steam ahead one week before Christmas. But what I do is I talk about things in pillars. So I have a word of the month, and I think this will be the last time I've got this as a pillar word, because it's the last week of the month in terms of my video content. So our word has been creativity, so I'll come back to that. The other pillars that I have are home and lifestyle, so I'll talk through that. I've got beauty here as well, finance, you know how much my entrepreneurial brain is always ticking. And also movement and nourishment. which I'm kind of laughing at because I don't have much to update you on that one. And also there was 2 pillars that I've thought about that I might add in the new year. Sorry, I'm just pinning my notes up here so that I know where I'm going. So when it comes to word of the month, where are we? Right, so in terms of creativity, as always, would love to know how you have tapped into your creativity this week. I wouldn't say that it's something that I have been very intentional about, but I do feel like I've been able to find different ways to be creative and channel creativity. I think one of the most exciting things creatively that's happened this week is YouTube now have an app which is separate from Studio and separate from the YouTube app, and it's more like YouTube Create, where you can actually edit your content. And that's really exciting for me because up until this point I have only used, I think, iMovie and nothing else really, not even CapCut or anything like that. And so as we go into the new year, I'm actually really excited to try different editing styles and try that out basically. One of the things I'm particularly excited about, which I've tried over the last few days, is that in a video like this, when I'm speaking to you, I've now found a way where I can have another video at the side of me, or even another image at the side of me simultaneously to this, you know, me talking to you. So for example, if I was talking about a product, like I've seen this new pair of shoes, I could have the image of the shoes at the side of me at the same time. So it's kind of like an overlay thing. So I'm not wanting any of my videos to become overly edited where I lose that feeling of kind of connection and community with you, because that's probably like my most important thing. But I do think so, like upskilling a little bit with some editing techniques might just help you feel more engaged during the video, or feel like you're following and you want to watch. So these sort of things might help a little bit. So I'm excited about that. The other thing from a creative point of view is that I have been doing a bit of painting, not artwork painting, but I've been painting at my home, because as we go into the new year, I think it's probably quite obvious from how I started YouTube at the start of this year to now. I think it's quite obvious on screen that I went through quite a lot of changes this year in so many different areas of my life. And you know that when you're just ready for like a complete sort of reset and tone shift and whatever. So I have thought actually my bedroom is really needing a bit of an upgrade, glow up, whatever you want to call it. So I have been painting just the sort of white, you know, the kind of skirting boards or whatever. So I've been getting the room prepared for the glow up in January. But the other thing I have been doing is creating lots and lots of Pinterest boards for my room, and just trying to get a bit of a feel for what I want the vibe and the tone to be in there. So that's where all my creative energy has went this week. So as I say, if you've been creative, then please let me know, and I'd be really interested to hear. Right, I'm going to take a wee sip of my Pepsi Max. 2 seconds. Nice. Right. So before I get onto the first pillar, there's something I really just want to say, and this is a big thing that I want to say, and I want to say it early on in the video while people are still watching or whatever. And it's actually just a really, really, really big thank you for the support that you've given me on this channel like this year. And obviously I think it feels like a natural point to say thank you, because one, we've got to the end of the year, but also I've got to the point where I've now uploaded over 100 videos on my channel as well. And for anybody that's been here from the very early stages, the very beginning, like when I was starting this out, I had no clue what I was doing. I was trying to find my feet with, you know, speaking to the camera, thinking about topics that might be of interest to people, different formats. So I've went from doing long vlogs to, you know, recently more trying out shorts. Now I've introduced these types of videos, which have gone really well as well. And I just want to say a massive thank you, because a lot of people have been through or with me on that journey through all these different sort of changes as I'm finding my feet with the channel. And I really hope that it does just grow from strength to strength as the next coming year, which I feel confident that it will, especially as I upskill more. But I just really do want to say a massive thank you. There's a few other things I want to touch on in terms of my special thanks, and I truly, truly mean this. I think about it a lot. I just want to say thank you for all the amazing comments that you leave like underneath the videos. Whenever I read the comments, it amazes me that people, one, take their time out their day to even leave a comment, but it's not just like the fact someone's left a comment, it's the actual content of the comment. And sometimes I read them and I think there's been so much thought and so much care like going into that comment. It honestly blows my mind. And sometimes when I'm responding, it's quite hard to articulate like how much that comment's meant to me, sort of thing, when I'm responding. But be assured that it really does mean so much to me, and quite often I screenshot my comments and send them to my family. I'm like, can you believe that someone's went out of their way to say that or whatever? And I really, really am so grateful, and I really hope that over the next year it can become a bit more of a community where you're not only engaging with me, but you're also engaging with each other as well, and giving each other tips and helping each other out and things like that as well. So that truly is my hope for it. But like I say, it doesn't go unnoticed, and I'm really, really am like so grateful. So thank you for that, and I just want to say that before I lose your attention. So anywho, we're going to get on to the first pillar before I get overly emotional. And the first one is this week, home and lifestyle. So I switch the pillars up around each week so that if you don't stay for the whole video, then I'm not following the exact same like layout of pillars each week. So home and lifestyle this week, what is happening? So as I said, I'm getting my house painted. So it also means I'm getting my house together and I'm getting my chic together in this house. Getting round the old odd jobs so that when I come back in January, the house feels nicely refreshed, reset, and it's ready for the upgrade that I've been talking about. So I've been doing that. Other things that I've been doing around the house this week, I've been watching a lot of Christmas films. Now, if you watch one of my other videos, I think I did talk about the fact that I wasn't feeling very Christmassy this year. You know, some years you just don't really feel it. It was a bit like that. But this week I've been really enjoying watching Christmas films that I've just never watched or never seen before. And I think sometimes that's actually the nice balance of like trying to get the mix of tradition with actually trying new things. And we all know the same Christmas films that we've seen time and time again. And I just thought, I don't know if I want to spend another couple of hours watching that same film again. So I've watched ones that I haven't seen before. Now this might shock you to the core that I have never seen this, but one that I really enjoyed this week was Love Actually. I've never seen that film before, so that was nice. It was quite nostalgic in the sense that I was born in 93, so around about the year 2002, 2003 are kind of like nostalgic childhood years for me. So whenever I see those years in films, it just has this kind of like, I suppose, specialness to it. So really enjoyed Love Actually. The other one I watched was My Secret Santa on Netflix. It was a bit of a cheesy kind of love story where this woman becomes like Santa and she dresses up as Santa. It's a bit like Mrs. Doubtfire but in reverse. It was quite good. I enjoyed that. I watched The Nativity this morning as well. It's kind of set in a primary school and all of these sort of children are getting ready for this big play, and then there's like this talk of Hollywood coming to the school. So that was that. That was okay. It was quite good fun as well. So that's what I've been watching. I've got another film on in the background that I'm just kind of about to start as well, but I can't actually remember the name of it. So I've just been enjoying watching my movies. The other thing I meant to say actually is that my robe from M&S arrived. I've been talking about for so long now. It's like, is this robe even real? Yes, it is. So I've been enjoying wearing that. It's given me that sort of spa at home feeling, like I've got this really nice white robe. I've been watching my movies, lighting my candles and just getting into that. So that's that. So that's what's been happening at home, a wee bit of lifestyle and things as well. So yeah. Right, I'm going to have another sip of this before I get into my next pillar. And also just before I move on to the next pillar, also interested to know favourite Christmas movies, what Christmas traditions you're following this year, if you're setting any new traditions this year as well, I'd be interested to know. Right, what's happening in beauty? Not very much, I'm afraid. I don't feel very beautiful right now because I've been slouching around on my sofa watching all these Christmas films. Right, so things I want to talk about is stating the obvious, if it is not that obvious already. I've had my hair cut again this week. I've actually, before I came on camera, about an hour and a half ago, I got the straighteners out and kind of tousled it a little bit, and I was like, oh, I quite like this with a wee bit of texture in it. So maybe that will be something new that I do more in the new year. So my hair was cut at the lovely Chris Marks hairdressing in St Andrews. It's always Penny that does my hair. She's a lovely girl and she does a fantastic job. So I was really, really pleased with that. No colour in it this time. I'll get colour in it the next time. I was just literally going for a cut. So that's me. I feel like I've had a wee Christmas haircut. It's always nice when you go home for Christmas and you don't feel like you look dishevelled either. So my nails are done, my hair's done, everything like that. My skin's looking nice. Thanks to the Victoria Beckham Beauty. It's not because I have got amazing skin or anything, it's just because all credit to Victoria Beckham for the look of my skin right now. So that. The other thing I was just going to say was the Nivea body cream. Now, I was talking to my sister about this on the phone this morning. I'm just, honestly, love that product. It's so inexpensive. So I'm talking about the body lotion. I've been using that so much when I come out of the shower. I've now got to the end of a big bottle of that. I think it's like 400 mils. I think you can get it in Boots the Chemist for £5 or less. It was in Morrison's the other night for about £3 something. It's a definite for me. Absolutely will be repurchasing that. But I would always get the one with the pump if you're going to get it. So that's a serious recommendation. And like I say, I've got to the end of that. It's always quite nice to actually get to the end of things as well. Last night I did another Biodance face mask, which is obviously, well, Biodance face mask. It's the collagens one, the pink ones. I've talked about these quite a few times on my channel. I am absolutely loving these face masks. I think it was round about £10 for a pack of 4 of them. I think in terms of skincare, it's probably the best £10 that I've ever spent for anything for my face. I feel like they feel so luxurious and they actually dry into the skin. And it pains me to say this, but I'm going to be honest and say I think I actually prefer them to the 111 skin masks. I think I might have talked about this last week. And I spent obviously a lot of money on the 111 skin mask, and I don't doubt that brand's actually very good, because I know they have good products like the night cream and things like that. So it's not about it not being a good brand, and actually the masks are good. It's just that for £10 getting these 4 masks, and they're so good, and you wake up with a glow. Yeah, if you treat yourself to anything over the Christmas holidays, treat yourself to the Biodance face mask. Also would be a fantastic gift. Also would be a nice gift split up into like little sort of stocking fillers as well. Just give each person 1 face mask or something. So loving that. What else did I have on beauty? Nothing else. The only other thing was that I just feel like I maybe needed a new perfume. Hint hint, Santa Claus if you're watching. I don't know, I just feel like I've been wearing that La Vie en Fleur one all year. Absolutely love that. It's nothing to do with not liking that. I just feel like, I don't know if it's because it's a new year that's pending. I just feel a wee bit like it would be quite nice to have a nice new wee scent to start the year or something, or a new something maybe. So, hey ho. Right, I'm going to get a wee drink of this. There is a bit of fluff stuck to my lip gloss on the side of this cup. I'm like, oh dear. Right, we're on to our next pillar, finance. So in finance, what's happening that's exciting? Right, so I have £50 pending from Rakuten. So what that means, I think, when it sits in pending, I think it means that if you as the viewer have used my link and I've earned £50 from it, it sits in pending, and I think that's in case you decide to return the item that you've bought. So that's sitting there. I was obviously just paid by Rakuten, I think 2 weeks ago now, so maybe that £50 will come in January. So I'm just watching that, and that's sitting there. I haven't had any of you sign up to that in a wee while, which is absolutely fine. You're more than welcome to not do that. But it is obviously worthwhile doing it as well at the same time. But I won't explain all of that again, because you must be sick of me listening to it about Rakuten and signing up to it. But I will link it down below if you do want to sign up. What I will say is I was on the Rakuten app this morning, and I was just having a look around to see what best deals there are. There's actually a really good one, which is 4% cash back on Stanley, as in Stanley cups at the moment. So if you are thinking about January coming up, you're thinking about hydration this year, I'm going to get a Stanley cup and get hydrated and whatever, actually just remember to go through the Rakuten app, because you'll get 4% cash back. So I don't need another Stanley cup, but what I had been thinking about was getting the Stanley coffee cup, so I might consider that. So that was one of my favourites. I then had a wee look around Quidco, which is another cashback website. One of the ones that stood out to me was the M&S one. Now they've got 13.5% cashback, which is a lot. So I would definitely say if you are buying anything online from Marks and Spencer's, do go onto Quidco. Again, I'll leave my link down below, and just go through that, and you'll get the 13.5% back. I've had a really positive experience with Quidco as well. I think I told you this last week, but I withdrew I think £15 from my Quidco account last week. I think I've got another £3 available there or something. I thought, oh great, that'll get me a coffee or something. So yeah, absolutely love Quidco. The other ones that I have seen on Quidco that I thought were a really good deal, Aspinall of London, this is actually a big one. Aspinall of London have 7.5% cash back. And that's on all purchases. So I was thinking that's a lot, especially with Aspinall of London being a higher price point purchase. That's probably quite a lot of money that you would get back on purchases. So if you were a husband watching this video right now and you haven't got your wife a gift for Christmas, Aspinall of London might be a good place to have a look. Similarly, they actually have a lot of nice gents things as well, and quite a lot of things that maybe it would be quite a nice luxury thing to receive as a gent for Christmas. So again, might want to have a look on there. Two more, so both Ralph Lauren and Anthropologie have 3.75% cash back this week as well. So if you are thinking about having a Ralph Lauren Christmas, which everybody seems to be talking about, there is 3.75% cash back via Quidco, and the same for Anthropologie as well. I've seen quite a lot on Anthropologie, which I'm now actually shopping myself and thinking about Anthropologie, that for my new bedroom glow up that I've been talking about, there's actually a lot of homeware that I would like from there. And the one thing I've got in mind that I would like from Anthropologie, and I will use Quidco if I do buy these, is the curtains for my bedroom. So they do have a really nice selection of curtains, which is maybe not the first thing you would think of when you think of Anthropologie, but they do. So that's everything in finance. Do have a look at Rakuten, because what you get your £25, I get my £25, plus you get the cash back on it. It's a no-brainer to sign up to that, and the same with Quidco as well. So I'll leave the links down below for that. Right, now I have my notes card here, and I'm very embarrassed about this, but I'm laughing at the same time, because one of the pillars on this is movement and nourishment. And do you know what I've written in it? Literally nothing. When I sat down to write this, I was thinking, what have I had this week that is healthy? And where have I moved? And the answer to that is I haven't eaten healthy at all, and I haven't moved either. So this week has been a very restful week. And to be honest with you, I think sometimes just from like a sort of looking after yourself point of view, I think it's just quite nice just to do that. I just haven't been swimming at all this week. But I am looking forward to getting back into that. So I don't see this as a sort of permanent thing. I just feel like I've been enjoying the festivities a wee bit too much. In terms of nourishment, yeah, there's just literally nothing there to report on. But again, I've just been enjoying being at home, watching some Christmas films, having my M&S snacks and things, and that has been that. So mentally, I feel nourished. So that's great. So that's everything in that. I feel a wee bit embarrassed because I've got nothing to say. Anyway, I'll bet you in January that'll be the biggest pillar with all these different things that we'll all be going at or whatever. So watch this space. So the other thing I actually was just going to say is I think going into the new year, which I can't believe I'm talking about the new year already, but just going into the new year, I was thinking about adding two more pillars in. So one being fashion. That's a definite. I think I'm going to add that in because I do feel like as I do my YouTube shorts, and it does seem like my fashion ones are the most popular ones, it makes sense to bring that element into these videos as well. Especially now I've got that opportunity and ability to do the overlay that I was talking about earlier. So I could be saying, I've seen these shoes on Marks and Spencer's and show you them at the same time. So that's quite exciting. So I'm definitely going to bring that in. Now, I don't know if this is the best time to mention this to you, given that we're probably all just breaking up for the Christmas break. But I do wonder how you would feel about a career pillar in here. Obviously, if you don't know this already, I'm a professional careers advisor and coach, and I have been for about 6 years now. I work with adults of all age, really, and I just wondered if that's something you'd be interested in. I don't want these videos to be too much or feel too heavy-handed, if that makes sense, because they are meant to just be soft planning. So maybe think about how I could introduce that, but please let me know if that's something you're interested in, or if you feel like it will just change the tone and the vibe too much. I can't decide on that, but I've put it down there as a maybe for the future. Right, okay, I want to leave it there. I want to say I hope you all have a lovely Christmas winter break. I hope you're all safe and well. And I'm really, honestly, and I'm not just saying this, I'm truly really excited to see where this channel goes in the new year. I think now I've found my rhythm with it. I've found like structural systems that work for me. And I'm really excited for that. So hope you all have a safe and well Christmas and New Year as well. And I'll see you in 2026. Thanks.